Ahmad looks to be out. I think it's pretty certain to be out. Just not recovering. As well as he would like or we would like for the ankle for tomorrow. So he's been out with that. So and then Aiden took a quad knee yesterday. So he falls into the game time, and then Hassan just has been limited to not much practice. So he'll be a game time post shoot around choice there.
And Liam's obviously.
Oh, and then Liam. Oh my God. And then Liam looks. It's. I think Liam looks like he's going to be available. We'll see how he feels when he gets up. Obviously, he's been able to get a couple of days in a row of practice in. Being, he was a little bit limited today. Just from some soreness from being out, and but he looks like he'll be available.
Do you anticipate a little bit of a minutes restriction, or?
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of. I mean, there's going to be. There's going to be a minutes restriction. There's going to be obvious, rust, and then this is a tough, probably first game for a guy to come back that hasn't played in 5 weeks. So there's a lot that we got to deal with relative to him.
Coach, given the injury that Hassan has, were you surprised that he was able to finish the game the way he did at Marquette?
He's going to deal with what he's dealing with for the rest of the year. There's our ability to manage it, and whether he's in or out for tomorrow, and just what that's going to look like. It's not something that's going to improve a great deal the rest of the way here. So. He battled though. I mean, he battled. This goes back to the Butler game, So he, he's a warrior. He's a tough guy. He wants to be out there. We wouldn't have won the game, obviously, with the way we turned it over. Like his presence on the court is, he's a back-to-back champion. So having him out there helps a lot.
How difficult of a matchup is Kadari Richmond?
Oh man, I mean he's in the best shape I think I've seen him in college. Obviously, he's a super veteran player. Prep school, Brewster. The 5 years, I think 5 years now in college. He looks like an NBA player. He looks like one of the 2 or 3 best players in the league. He absolutely, is dominant in these last couple performances, and. It's an enormous task, to deal with him. He's always had great physical ability, and now he's got just, he's got tremendous experience, and now he's on a really, the best team he's been on.
Is that scary given the vulnerability you guys have at point guard with the injuries?
Well, I just think that, the things that this team has struggled with, guarding the ball and, guarding the ball, off the dribble, and then the rebounding, and then obviously with the situation at point guard, the way we turn the ball over at Marquette. Those are the 3 things that concern you the most in the game: our ability to guard the ball, our ability to rebound the ball, and our ability to not turn the ball over. We're going to be at a physical disadvantage relative to the. They're one of the most physical teams. They got a Houston type of vibe to, how hard they play and how physical they are.
What has Liam been like through this sort of recovery? I remember you talking about Donovan all the time, how stubborn he was to keep off the foot. Yeah. What has it been like for Liam?
He's been mature with handling the injury. We need his personality on the court. He's got the type of, charisma, personality, swagger, confidence. Like having him out of the lineup, we're already kind of been a quiet team and not that forceful with our presence. So he makes us more formidable with just. He's always on the side talking and encouraging people, and obviously you see his reactions on the end of the bench when things go good or bad.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a coach there sometimes, it seems like.
He is. I mean, he's a UConn guy. He's On any of the the great teams that we've ever had here at UConn over the course of time, like he'd be a great player on any of those teams. The guy's just such a UConn guy, and a guy that he wants to compete, he wants to win, and he's been dying to play. So hopefully he can play and then be healthy the rest of the way and have a great end to the year.
How will he make your other guys better?
Well, he's going to make things easier, obviously, for Alex and Solo. I think everyone's going to get better shots because of his presence. He's 6'7" and could guard the ball. He's 6'7" and can rebound the ball. He gets to the free throw line because he's able to put pressure on the rim, and he's a savvy player. He takes pressure off of literally every single player. He makes everyone around him. Things will be easier for them.
Obviously, you guys have played in the biggest games you can play in the last couple of years, but does this feel like tomorrow night, you and Rick, two teams battling for first place, Liam's back, Kadari in town, $2 Miller Lite night.
Yeah. Oh, is it $2? They can't get that down to they might need it to be $1 when they see how some of these guys are limping around.
Ben Gordon, too.
Ben Gordon, that's awesome to see Ben, getting his induction there. That's awesome. I mean, that guy, I was a young assistant, at Rutgers, watching him play on the high school circuit. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have that time at Rutgers where I was given an opportunity there. So, by Kevin. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, he's the all-time great player here, so it's awesome for him. And he was a national champion and had a great NBA career, so that's great. I mean, we're going to need the atmosphere. I would say, when we're down 14 to DePaul and getting booed, I don't know. And then knowing that the next game was at Marquette, I don't know if at that moment I thought I'd have a chance to play kind of like a fun big game on Friday night at Campbell. Things were looking a little dark at that time, so things have turned around for us. Obviously, it's nice to have Liam potentially back, but we're going to need an awesome inspiration from our crowd, just with where we're at right now.
Could you talk about the importance of having this one at Campbell? Obviously going to be a great student showing too.
Yeah, I mean, just playing at home it's an obvious advantage. Playing at home doesn't win it for you, but it certainly gives you an advantage in terms of noise and comfortability and confidence. Players tend to play better, shoot better at home.
I think Solo's defensive struggles have kind of helped him on offense just be looser on that side of the court. Is he worried about the other end so much, or is it just that's how he is?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a perfectionist. He cares. He's not. I've said this before. He's not like this gunslinger. Hey, you brought me in here to shoot and score. Somebody else should be recruited to be all defense. It's like he's a perfectionist, and then he wants to win desperately, and he knows that his improved defense is critical. Him improving at that end is critical to us winning. I mean, the shooting is what it is. I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the country. We weren't lying, in the preseason when we were high on his shooting and his ability on that end of the court. But he's still a young player. I mean, he's still a sophomore, and but he's got there's tough matchups. I mean. Luis and Richmond, there's nowhere to hide anybody when you start playing in some of these types of games. And then, but I thought his defense was better at Marquette. So.
And do you think facing the Marquette defense kind of gives you guys a little bit of an advantage going into this game?
Well, I mean, they're physical, but they're more, quicker. Their defense, I would say, is built on maybe quickness and obviously, pressure and also physicality. But St. John's is I mean, it's a brutal defense in terms of how physical they are. Both with getting open versus the pressure, and then in the half court. So they're physical, but they're also incredibly well coached and committed, and switching a lot of things, and they really challenge you to like be super sharp with your, with your passing. I mean, obviously we have an offense in the half court that is very, very highly efficient. So this is the greatest test you can have. Their defense is like old Big East, and reminds you of like what Houston's been like the last couple of years.
Has any team done a better job rebuilding the program through the portal than St. John's has?
Well, I just think we're in a Coach has done a phenomenal job. What else would you expect? Would happen. I think it was a pretty easy prediction when he got the job there that this that this is where the program would get to. I think things have changed a lot. It's not. I think. Things now are things are a year-to-year basis in college basketball with the way the rules are set up here. So, year 1, year 2, year 5, year 9. I think all of that is out the window. I think coaches in general, moving forward, are going to get less time to build a program. There's an expectation that, you'll be able to build it real quickly. I mean, there's a lot of first-year coaches that are having like unbelievable success this year, second-year coaches, whereas 5 or 6 years ago, like you wouldn't have a shot until year 3 if you came into a program that was in such bad shape. So I just think, nowadays, you get a coach of his level, with a school that has the resources to commit, and you could find yourself in this situation.
I know your competitive juices are always up there, but when you're coaching against somebody like Pitino, do they elevate even a little bit more?
I mean, it's exciting. You say it's not exciting, you'd be lying, just because he's one of the best coaches, in college basketball, and he's had, look at the places he's coached. He's coached the Celtics, the Knicks, Kentucky, Louisville, Providence. Now he's at St. John's, BU, and I was a camper at 5-star listening to him. Talk about the 3-point line and the triple threat, and it makes it more exciting. But we're not going to like stand next to each other with a clipboard and and then duel it out. It's like it's like comes down to in the end, like who's got the better team.
Have you had a chance to talk to him at all, like maybe Big East Media Day?
Yeah, briefly, in some of those, interactions. I think, before he hired Talik at Iona, we talked about, Talik, we communicated about Talik a little bit there, and then you see him in passing at Big East meetings or Big East Media Day. And
Coach, what kind of game are you preparing for? Are you preparing for sort of a slugfest and a defensive game, or are you preparing for a game where you may have to put up a lot of points on the board?
Yeah, I mean, I've suggested that the players, watch Gladiator. If they haven't watched it, they should, because it's that type of game. I mean, just the physicality, and listen to, Shaka's comments after the game and what that experience was like, and for them, it's just, it's going to be a really physical game. I mean, every time a shot goes up, it's going to be a war to get a rebound. I mean, you're going to have to be incredibly physical and tough, and I mean, it's going to be a war.
Do you wish you had some eligibility left?
I mean, no. Me as a player cannot help my team. No, I mean, I wish maybe Andre Jackson, still had some eligibility, or maybe Cam Spencer or whatever. But yeah, not me. I couldn't help this team in this game. Maybe more of a wide open offensive game. I could help this team. We good?
Thank you.
All right, guys. All right.